Welcome back to another Monday Morning Pastor, where we look at something from yesterday's service to help us get through the week. And we've been on break for a few weeks because of summer vacation, but we're back at it. We're glad that you're here. And I'd like to talk about something we shared in church last day that was kind of weighty, kind of heavy. The subject is the judgment of God. And I think most of us, if we believe in a God, believe that God is going to judge, and he's going to judge justly. We all want to agree that the really evil people of this world, the Hitlers and the Stalins, certainly need to be judged. But we're not so comfortable when we look at ourselves and we ask ourselves the question, how might God judge me? Our passage was 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, and I want to read a few verses and then share a story, a true story of my life and how that might apply to us. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, beginning at verse 5. And I'm cutting out quite a bit here, but you can read it on your own in context. It says that everything demonstrates that God's judgment is right. God is just. He will pay back trouble to those who trouble you and give relief to you who are troubled. He will punish those who do not know God and who do not obey the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ. They will be punished with everlasting destruction, and this is the line I want to focus on, shut out from the presence of the Lord. They will be shut out from the presence of the Lord. It was about a year ago that Diane and I were taking a cruise on the Princess Discovery. We had booked tickets to Los Angeles, the port where the ship was leaving, and we had scheduled things perfectly. The flight would get us in time to catch the ship with about 5 or 6 hours to spare on the day of sailing. However, the day before the ship sailed, we got a notice from the airline that our flight had been canceled, and this is the holiday time. There was not a single flight from Bellingham or Seattle to Los Angeles. We were stuck. We were desperate. We had no travel insurance, and we were determined to get on that ship. So we rented a car from the Bellingham airport, and we drove nonstop down the coast, about 1,300 miles, and with about an hour to spare, we got on that ship. It was crazy, but we made it. And I, just telling this story, I had the same knot in my stomach, the feeling of helplessness and the conviction that I wanted to get on that ship. I had this picture the whole way down of us pulling up to the port down there in San Pedro and having the ship just pull out, or the gate just come down, and us being shut out of our cruise. It was a very real possibility. Had something gone even remotely wrong on our trip on the way down, we would have missed that ship. But as it was, we made it. But like I said, as I share the story, I still have those knots in my stomach that I had the entire drive all the way from Bellingham to Los Angeles, that we knew that we had to keep going. We didn't stop. We didn't rest. We just kept going, and we made it. Well, we didn't want to be shut out. And I want to suggest that we should have that same feeling about a relationship with God through Jesus Christ, what he's done for us, coming and teaching, living, dying a death on a cross for us. He's provided for us access or a relationship with God so that we don't need to be, as it says in 2 Thessalonians here, shut out from the presence of God. And note that phrase, shut out from the presence of God. That's what heaven is. Being in God's presence. And the opposite of heaven, the Bible uses the word hell. It's simply being excluded from God's presence. Being shut out from God's presence. And to me, it seems like being shut out from God's presence is a just consequence of those that don't want God in their lives here. God is inviting us into fellowship with him through Jesus Christ. And if we choose not to have that fellowship, he honors our agency. He honors our free will, and he won't make us do that. And so we're shut off from his presence. So I want to suggest here that I'm going to pray as part of this video that God would create in you a yearning, a longing to know him, to want him, to trust him, to receive from him his grace and his goodness. And if you have any more questions about what that might mean for you, don't hesitate to reach out for me. And I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for thinking about this. And again, you are invited because of his great love and generosity to have a relationship with God through his Son, Jesus Christ, whom he sent to die for you and to pay the punishment, complete punishment for all your transgressions, mistakes, and sins, so you can have a guilt-free, shameless relationship with God. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.